This time we'll be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Classics, the MattyCollector.com figure of the month for March, and that is King Hiss. Here's the bio on the back of the package, and it's pretty much the backstory that was included or shown in the 2002 series second season, in which the whole arc dealt with the return of the ancient evil of the Snake Men. Evil Lyn unleashed the Snake Men from the bottom of Snake Mountain that Skeletor made into his base. Snake Mountain was established by the Snake Men as the base in Eternia, and that was pretty much all the backstory, or I should say. King Hiss actually did not appear in the old 80s cartoon at all. I believe he is mentioned, or the Snake Men are mentioned, but the only Snake Men member that appears is Cobra Khan, and Cobra Khan, established as a descendant of the Snake Men, who now serves Skeletor, does have an extensive history in the mini comics that came with all the figures. Always liked the Snake Men as characters and figures and their gimmicks. Of course, they're snakes. What's not to like? Now, King Hiss has a little bit of a controversy because it was discovered late that there was an error in the way the figure was put together, and it's something that I found out literally the day after I ordered him on MattyCollector.com. And that is the fact that just like the previous figure, Roboto, his shoulders are placed on the wrong side. So this shoulder should be on this side and this one on the other side. There's no way to fix it without completely taking apart the figure, and many reviewers on YouTube and other places missed that. Mattel people missed that. There's really nothing I could do about it, and just hope that it didn't look too bad. And it really doesn't. I mean, it is annoying, and you can tell that the articulation is a little bit limited by it, but not too much. You can still get it all the way around the bicep here, but it's just a little rougher there than it would be, I think, if they were reversed. In the long run, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Until they re-offer him, I don't think that Mattel is going to spend the money to get these fixed. So, okay, on to the figure. He comes with two accessories. You got this cool shield with a snake theme on there. It's very particular. You got to clip it in just the right spot. There's not much give to the actual clip there. So the other accessory is this staff. Again, I can't really recall if this is a magic staff or not, or just a cool, big, huge scepter that identifies him as King of the Snake Men. That could be used alternatively as a club. It's got a neat snake design to it. It's got a little rattle on the tail, a little diamond back pattern on the snake there. The gimmick, and if you recall the old figure, or maybe perhaps you don't. I certainly do. The old figure used to be just a shell, or two halves that would come off apart like armor and reveal a snake, a massive snake, two snakes for hands and a huge snake head. And so, while this doesn't open up to reveal that because of the articulation, it does, much like the DC Universe Plastic Man, the whole top of the figure just comes off, and you can replace it with the snake bits. Now, the old figure had posable arms, hard plastic arms. This whole piece is made of a very soft, rubbery plastic, and it's got this really shiny glaze on it that's really sticky. And actually, if you leave this on surfaces, it actually will stick to the surfaces a little bit. Kind of like, I don't know, if you leave like a gummy bear on something, or you know, a candy somewhere on the table, and it kind of melts just a little bit. It kind of has that feeling. Pretty apt for a snake, which, although they're not actually slimy, are associated with slime. And instead of the hard posable snake arms, you have these wire snakes that you can unravel and twist into different directions. The jaw here of the big snake head is articulated. Unfortunately, it's made of the same soft material here, so it is quite a chore to kind of get it moving. Difficult because, again, it does stick a little. And these snake heads are very detailed. I really like them. Even these side ones, although this one you can see that stickiness which caused a little bit of problem in the packaging. Here you can, this is a better look at me. Just wonderfully detailed heads. Beautiful, beautiful sculpt. Really, all these scales and the scoots on the bottom of the snake, and just really, really cool. We'll put his regular bod back, or his human bod back on, and go over articulation. Take his little accessories off, make it a little bit easier. Okay, so his head goes up and down. It is kind of a little loose here, and he's got this weird little side to side thing. Makes him snake-like. I imagine that if one of the masters or the heroes played a flute, he would start doing this. When the arms go all the way around, they don't get in as close to the body as other figures because of the armor here. It does force the arms a little bit further out than some other figures. And you cannot take this off. It is glued on there. And then I showed you the problem with the shoulders being reversed, not really getting in the way of the bicep swivel. He's got the bend at the elbow, and the wrists rotate, and he's got fairly good ab articulation. And because of the way this is sculpted in the front here, doesn't really go too far forward, but he does go back quite a ways. The legs are pretty cool as well. And they are a bit restricted by the sculpt here at the front there, so you can't really get them all the way forward, but they go out to the side very well. They rotate here at the upper thigh, bend at the knee, rotate at the boot here and bend at the ankle, as well as having the ankle pivot. He's quite posable. The only drawback is this piece at the thigh there getting in the way. That's really the only thing I would change about the figure. Maybe cut that down. I know you lose the sculpt, but you have to sacrifice that to get the posability. But even with that, it's not that bad. I am happy with the way they did the figure. That'll be it for my look at the Masters of the Universe Classics King Hiss figure. And stay tuned for some more Masters of the Universe Classics, because I've gotten a couple of re-releases of older figures, and we'll take a look at them pretty soon. Till then, see ya.